Okay, so I am back from the Oregon Orchid Show, and it was pretty exciting. I actually ended up getting more than I had anticipated getting going in, and I couldn't stick to my budget. There was just too many lovely orchids to pass up. So I had a chance to meet some really nice growers out there today, including Botanica Ltd, and they are based out in Montana. There was Ecuagenera. They are from Ecuador, and they came a long way to bring us some really, really great orchids. There was Olympic Orchids. There was also Emerald City Orchids. There was Woodland Way Nursery, Oscar Allen Nursery, Lucky Girl Orchids, and also members of the Oregon Orchid Society that were there with their orchids, and also Motes Orchid, who came all the way from Florida. It was really a nice experience since this was my first time at an orchid show, so I think I did kind of splurge a little bit since I've never been to one, and it was just it was overwhelming because there was just so many beautiful orchids, and of course I couldn't buy every single one, but I will show you what I got from there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start with this first bag that I have here. Since I didn't have many paths and prags in my collection, those were the ones that I really focused on getting. This one here is a prag, and it is Acker's Fu Manchu. It looks like this one could be a blooming size because I was really trying to purchase blooming size paths and prags because I don't think I have the patience to wait for them. So yeah, this one was a really nice one. So this one here I got from, I believe it was from Emerald City Orchids, and after speaking with him I found out that most of his orchids are grown from seed. So the thing with orchids that are grown from seeds is that you won't find a duplicate of them. They are one of a kind, and this one is in bloom. Look at that beauty. Really good size orchid. And let's see what the tag says on this one. So this one is a Paphiopedilum Melly Moon. It's a moving light yellow dream crossed with a Melly Pope ginormous. And it is ginormous. It is a big girl. This one here is also another Paphiopedilum, and it is in bud, as you can see here. And it looks like there is 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like 5 growth on here. It's a really nice size orchid. I don't have pictures of them. They had the pictures when I purchased them. They had this, you know, like postcard size pictures of these. But if you guys would like to take a look at it, you could probably check it out on their website and see what it looks like. And I'll also update once it blooms so you can see what it looks like. And then I got this little mini Cymbidium, which is also in bud, as you can see there. It's closer to the species kind because they are small. Cymbidium species are much smaller than the hybrid crosses. So there was, oh yeah, it broke. So there was a little bloom on there, but I guess it broke while in transport. But this is what it'll look like. It's very small, Let me focus on that. There you go. It's very small, very pretty. It's like it's yellow petals with some red, and the lip is red, white with some red spots. Okay, so these two paths, they are from the same parent. It is a Paphiopedilum Betty Glenn. It's a Path Betty Glenn Disco Queen crossed with a Path Betty Glenn. It looks like a T. That's what it says on there, yep. And I ended up getting both of them because even though they were from the same parents, it's different. Because they are from seed, they're going to look different. So as you can see here, this one, the leaves aren't very mottled at all, versus the sibling over here has mottled leaves. And I ended up getting this one because the flowers, it looks like it's going to be a dark colored orchid. This one has like a greenish maroon tone to it. I believe that that's what the flower is going to look like. But then when you look at the other one, it is totally deep purple, like almost black. So I had to get both of them because I wanted to see what the difference would be once they bloom. And there is lots of growth in this one. And this one also has a couple new growth also. There's one down there and there's another one. This one here has like 1, 2, 3, 4, like probably 4 of them over here. Really good size orchids. And this orchid here I purchased from a gentleman by the name of Mike, who was super nice, super entertaining, and so funny. And this is a really, really huge prag. I am not even going to attempt to announce it, but here is the tag for it. Let's see, right there. So it's a prag elbow. Yeah, I can't pronounce it. But he was generous to go ahead and let go of this beauty. And it has so many new growth, if you guys can see in there. There's like so many new growths. And he is a member of the Oregon Orchid Society. I got this off his table. I can't wait to see this one bloom. It's a huge, huge orchid. Okay, and this one here is another path. It is a Paphiopedilum Mount Avalon. It's a Mount Toro Totally HCC / AOS crossed with a Avalon Miss Sunshine. I'm just kind of sad that I can't even show you guys what the bloom is going to look like because it's absolutely gorgeous. This one here is in bud. You can see that right there. And it has new growth. It's a big orchid. So hopefully you guys can Google them and you can see what they look like. But the pictures that they had over there, it was just gorgeous. I had to get it. And this beauty here is also another, I think this one is actually a prag, I believe is a, it says it is a Pinocchio Color Delight crossed with a P. Lowii. And this one also has a bud that's growing from it also. Oh, and new growth. And then here I got this little cutie. Even though it's this small, it had a flower bud that's really cute. And this one here is a Dendrobium trantuania crossed with a sip. It was really cute, and the lady that sold this to me told me that they don't really get this much bigger, so I don't know. It's a really cute mini orchid. So the next one is this little cutie here. It's an encyclia. It's a species, so it's much smaller than the encyclias that you find at the grocery stores or any stores. It's really small. And the tag is a little worn, so I can't even really read that, but it's a cross with a sib. So it's like an encyclia. I can't even make it out, but I saw the picture of it and I thought it was the cutest thing. And it has a lot of new growths on it also. I'll have to get in contact with the seller on this one, the grower, and get the actual name so I can fill it out on the tag. And this one is a fowl species. This was the only fowl that I found there that was a species, and that was the only one that this grower had on the table, so I ended up getting it. So this is the tag on it, and it is a fowl bastianii. I believe that's how it's pronounced. But this one was not on my fowl species wish list. But if you could only see the picture of the flower, I was more than happy to go ahead and purchase this one. And it is in spike. And it has new roots coming out. Okay, and the next one is another pride. And it has a new growth right there. And I really wish you could see the flower on this orchid. It's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and here's the tag, and it looks like it is a Prague Chodere Marissa? I believe that's how it's pronounced. Okay, so now these are the orchids that I got from Ecuador, the Ecuagenera. And a lot of the stuff that they had there were species, so I was so ecstatic to be able to get them. Let me go ahead and take this out of the bag. And she told me that all of these are blooming size, so it should be blooming for me sometime soon. But this one has a new growth, and let's see what the tag says on this one. Okay, so, wow, that's a long name. Ooh, I don't want to damage it. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and move the tag a little bit. Okay, so it looks like it's a Prague Catadidum giganteum crossed with a Prague. Oh, let me take the tag out. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the tag again. It is a Prague Catadidum giganteum crossed with a Prague Kovaci. So the flower on this is really pretty. Okay, and so this next one is actually in spike, and there is a bud right there. And it is, let's see, it's also another Prague. It's a Prague Basia variety Gorumulus Yeah, I'm so horrible at pronouncing names, but that's the tag right there. So this is a species tag, I believe. And I will take it out of the plastic and let you guys see it in just a second. Okay, actually I'm not going to take it out of the plastic because once I take it out of the plastic, I'm going to be potting it. But I will show you this really pretty bud it has right there. And looking through this, I can see there is a bunch of new growth also. Okay, up next is another pride. This one is also a species, but it says it's a Bessier chiquinda. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. But this one came in bloom, but it looks like the bloom is already starting to die off. But that is it right there. But there is another bud in the back of it, so I'll still be able to enjoy it. Yeah, it's still really pretty. Let's see. That's what it looks like. Okay, and the next one is another pride. And this one here is the Bessier Lemon. And this also had a flower, but it's dying. But it also has a new bud. And this one looks like it has some new growth also. Okay, this one here is another pride. It says Emilia Arias. And this one here is in spike and also in bud. And there's two of them. And it looks like there is a bunch of new growth also in here. And the woman that sold this to me, she was just super nice and so friendly. And she took the time to explain to me about a lot of the orchids that she had. And I'm so sad I didn't catch her name, but she was super, super nice. Okay, and the next one up is another prag. It's a species, and it is a prag longifolium. That's what it says there. This one has no spikes or bud, but she says that it is blooming size, so shouldn't be too long. Okay, and this next one I have up is Alalia purpurata, variety alba. And this one is an all-white Lalia. And she says this one is also blooming size. So I can't wait for these to be in bloom so that I can show you what they will look like. And let's see. Oh, and this one is super exciting. This is my first Dracula. And it is a Dracula Gigas crossed with a Dracula Chiroptera. So that's what it looks like in there. Yeah, so it's my first Dracula, so I'm hoping I can keep it alive. I hear a lot of horror stories where, you know, they just die off and, you know, not enough humidity, or just it's a little more finicky than some of the other orchids, but we'll see. Okay, so the next one is my last one that I purchased from Ecuagenera, and this one was a little pricier, but from the picture of the flower that she had, I fell in love with it. So even though it was a little more expensive than the rest of them, I have to get it. So it says here it is a Prague Delisandroy crossed with a Prague Kovaci. It was super pretty. Yeah, so I went from having no Pragues to having a lot of Pragues. But I am so excited because I'm starting to fall in love with Paphs and Pragues. There's just something very different about them. Okay, I'll go ahead and start unpacking the last bag.